time, everybody, and welcome back to the last 20 pages of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's been a journey with this book. Definitely a lot of content in knowing how to live in the moment and embrace everything and enjoy it with gratitude. That being said, this last episode, there's really good content in the last 20 pages. A lot of good stuff. It was really tough for me to pick out what to talk about. But I chose 3 things out of like 5 or 6 that I could have chosen. But let's get right into the points and let's brush up on some knowledge. First one being is interconnectivity. This one's a very interesting topic, especially whenever last weekend, whenever I was out by the lake, I was reading my book, and this actually took place. But what is interconnectivity? Interconnectivity is pretty much where all of us human beings, every single species on this planet is here together as one, living together. Now, subconsciously, we are all interconnected without us even realizing it. Let's say, for example, whenever I was out at the lake, I was just sitting there reading the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and I was just sitting there enjoying the moment, reading my book, enjoying my book, and just being grateful for the time that I had there. And while I was reading this book, a gentleman came up to me and said that he loved that book, and we just started a conversation off of that. And we just kept connecting, and now we're, I would like to say we're friends, I'm not too sure, but so yeah, the point of this is it's so crazy how everything kind of interconnects. Now, the thing that I didn't tell you is whenever I was reading this book, whenever I sat down and planted myself on that bench next to the lake, I was thinking to myself, man, I wonder if someone's going to say something about the book. If someone's going to walk by and to say something about the book or say, what are you reading? And this guy came up and started talking to me about it, which is so crazy because I literally had that thought of if someone's going to mention it. And because of that, the world's interconnected and read my thoughts and actually manifested into reality. And because of that, I met a good friend. That being said, another way to look at interconnectivity is look at animals. Any kind of animal. I don't even know if I actually made this reference before. Hopefully I didn't, and I'm not restating what I said before. But even if I did, it's probably a valuable point. Look at animals. Whenever you observe animals in the wild, look how they live. They just do what they have to do. You know, they don't stop and think what should they do next. That's only humans. Only humans are the ones that are conscious enough to actually make decisions on what to do and what not to do. And we always think in our heads. Animals, they don't do that. They just do what the hell they want to do because they're animals. They don't think about doing things. They just do it. Look at your pets, your dog, your cat, your gerbil, I don't know, whatever you have. Look at how they live. Do you think that they think about, oh man, I'm really depressed today? Nah, they don't do that. They just keep going on with their daily lives doing what they always do. In fact, Eckhart Tolle even mentioned that he observed, I think, ducks, and he learned a lot. No. Yeah, it was ducks. No. I think it was cats, actually. He said that his cat was one of his best mentors in becoming present in the moment. Because, think about it, the cat's just doing what a cat does. It doesn't think about what it's doing. And because of that, he connected it with his own life and started thinking how to be in the moment and not really think about those kind of things that humans think about and how animals just live their life doing what they do. Now I'm just beating a dead horse. Going to the second point, surrender. This is a very interesting topic. Surrendering to the moment of now. Now, you could be surrendering to the past or to the future, but really you should be surrendering yourself to the moment of now. Reason being is because if you surrender to the past, it's already done and over with. Yes, you are getting over that fact. Surrendering to the future, you are totally open to whatever happens. Yes, that makes sense. But surrendering to the now is the most important because now is essentially all we have. So whenever things happen in the moment right now, don't get too fed up on kind of things that are happening because you're going to start labeling things as good or bad, and then it's going to start affecting your mood, and it's going to put you in a bad state. So whenever you're surrendering, surrender to the moment of how you feel about things. Surrender about how external things are happening to you. Even Eckhart Tolle mentions, he breaks down surrendering into 2 points. There's internal surrendering and external surrendering. So, for example, external surrendering, whenever something happens out of your reach, whenever something happens that is totally an external factor that you couldn't really make an effect on, when that happens, you can either, get upset about it, get happy about it, I don't know what it is, but yeah, you can either feel certain ways, and then because of that, you're starting to react, which, in a few videos ago, you don't want to be reacting. It's very interesting regarding this. Whenever external things happen, you need to take a step back. Now, I did mention that there's two parts. There's also internal. We just talked about external. Now, with internal, if external is hard to accept what is happening, for example, a loss of a loved one, if it's hard to accept that, the next step is internal surrender. So the way you're feeling, whenever you're super upset, when there's pain that's deep within you and you feel like shit because of it, just accept it and surrender to the moment of your feelings. Don't necessarily ignore them. Don't necessarily discredit them. I guess same thing as ignoring them. And also don't react off of them. Just acknowledge what you're feeling and then take action afterwards. Take that step back and realize what your options are. Now this goes into the third point, which is having choices. I love this topic in the book because Eckhart Tolle made it very interesting. In society, a lot of people are unconsciously living their lives, doing their things, stuck in their routines, and only doing what they have to do, because if they look anywhere else, it's totally outside of their vision, and it's scary, and they don't want to take that route. Humans like to do things that are something that they've always known about, something that's a constant pattern, nothing new, because new things are kind of a fear for humans, because it's something new, and they don't know how it's going to what the outcome of it's going to be. So, having choices. Now, it's very interesting. He mentions that whenever people make choices, sometimes it's an illusion. How is it an illusion? Because whenever you make a choice, a decision, sometimes, if you're not present in the moment, you're on autopilot. You're unconscious, and your responses are automatic. Because of the past events that have happened, you kind of start dictating what kind of decisions to take in the future because of your past events. It's a very interesting philosophy. I never realized that, but it totally makes sense for the people who always keep getting into situations over and over and over again, because they had that in the past, and without it, it's something entirely different, and they can't live doing something different. That is why you want to be in the moment and acknowledge what's going on, so you can harness the ability of the now and do what you want to do, take your own decisions without the past experiences of your pain bodies or whatever's going on in your head, dictate on which route you should go. That is all I have for the last 20 pages. Super interesting. There's actually another point that I didn't want to talk about, but I'm not going to go into it. He talked about religion, and it's very interesting how he goes into religion, believing God and living in the power of now, and how closely related they are. I'm not going to go into it because it's just more time. But if you want to listen to it, or read it, I should say, read his book. I'm telling you, there's so much more content, and it's so hard to pull out what the best things are. That is all I have for you guys today. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And please subscribe on YouTube, guys. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. I love the fact that you guys are engaging with me. Now, for the next steps of what's going to be going on, it's the end of the month. That's awesome. Guess what? There's a book giveaway. We'll announce the winner in a few more days. That being said, there's going to be another book giveaway coming up. And since we're finishing this book, I will be announcing the next book on what we're doing on Instagram. So check that out and stay in the loop. See you guys. Be awesome. Take care.